What's up, guys? Everybody can hear me? You're not seeing me good, Tim? That's the problem. I don't know what's going on today. Definitely sucks. What's going on, folks? What's going on? Tim says he's not able to see my video good, I guess. Do you guys see me good? I mean, it's telling me I do have a video output low, which normally that is not the case. Let me know if you guys can hear me and actually see me well. Yeah, you see me good, James? Okay, you can't hear me. How about the visual? Yes, sir. All right. If you guys can hear me, that's good, and if you can see me, that's even better. I mean, obviously the purpose of the live show is for you guys to actually see me and hear me. I don't know, my video output over here on my screen tells me it's low, but I'm gonna go ahead and you guys will let me know in the chat box if there's a problem. Hopefully we can get through. I know I came in late, about 5 minutes later than norm. So I'll do the best I can to help you guys out. Couple of things, couple changes in line. There were some changes on the line. Seattle and Indiana. It was earlier today 13-point favorite for Seattle. That has dropped to 12 with a 166 implied total now. Kind of foggy, James. Yeah, I wonder why is that. I got a feeling. Give me one moment, guys. Give me one moment. All right, guys, sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't using a ton of Wi-Fi in the house. The video is frozen. Oh, all right, we're hoping that changes it. Okay, if you guys can still hear me, what I decided to do was stop the stream and then restart it again. I apologize. I don't know. It's definitely something wrong on my end. Hopefully, we'll be able to at least get through a few minutes and be able to discuss something. And I definitely will work on it for the next live stream. Okay. Hopefully it gets better here. We'll hope for the best. Guys, let me know if I'm coming off better now or you see me better. Much better. Okay. All right, so a couple of things. All right, I know we killed a lot of time just with the video problems and everything else and me getting in here 5 or 6 minutes late. I'm going to try to tackle some questions as quickly as possible. Just give me a couple of moments. Just give me 2 minutes just to basically tell you a couple of things that you should be looking out for today. Coming in out of the 8 teams in the slate, Indy has been giving up the most points up in the front court, 58 points per game. Chicago is second at 56 points per game. Washington is at 52.6 and Phoenix at 52.2. So I'm looking to target those 4 teams more up front, but there are some favorable matchups. Like Minnesota definitely doesn't have Brunson today, so you may want to target obviously some Chicago play there. Las Vegas is coming in 50. points per game given up to forwards. And then the better two teams have been Seattle and Atlanta. So definitely Seattle, definitely Indiana is really a tough go for them, with Seattle only coughing up 44.2 points per game to forwards and centers. That's actually 2 points better than their season average. And then at the guards, we got Phoenix as going into this slate. Out of the 8 teams, Phoenix is giving up the most points to guards. 40 points per game. They really are struggling there defensively as of late, especially in the last 4 or 5 games. Vegas is the second top team giving up points, 38.6 points per game to guards. Then comes Chicago at 35.2. Then Indy at 34. Washington at 32.5. Then Minnesota, Seattle, and Atlanta all at 30 points per game given up to guards. But I give the edge there to Seattle. I think their guards are obviously a little bit more superior than Indiana's guards, and I think they'll defend them just as good. I think they'll keep that at 30-somewhat points, whereas I think Minnesota, out of the 3 that are coming in defending guards the best, I think Minnesota's really in a tough spot, having to deal with Allie Quigley and Vandersloot back there. They're really a tough backcourt team as far as scoring points is concerned. And I think Atlanta is in a tough matchup as well, going up against Vegas. You have to deal with Kelsey Plum, KP, and with K-Mac. With McBride, it's going to be really a tough go for them. I think Atlanta, after all these numbers I just gave you right now, obviously you could target Las Vegas, especially in the front court. I think Atlanta's front 3, we've discussed that before. They're really strong. They're wide. They're quick. They're good defensive players. McCautry, Breland, and Elizabeth Williams are all in play for today. I also like, let me give you what I think are the best possible plays. I think Breanna Stewart, obviously in the front court, Breanna Stewart is the best play for me, in my opinion, today, and she is also the top forward in the slate. Other than Breanna Stewart, I think Asia Wilson's in a decent spot, but it's going to be still very difficult for her, even though she did play fairly decent against Atlanta the first time around. I think that front court of Atlanta is going to be really tough. It's going to be a tough spot for her because she really doesn't have a whole lot of help up front as far as someone who can score, other than T. Young, and T. Young hasn't been really that good as of late. Then Della Donna's in a good spot. I do like Natasha Howard. She's been solid. I think she's going to be solid here again against Seattle's front court over Indiana's front court. Even though Candace Dupree has been playing really well, I think she could be a really sneaky $7,400 play today for Indiana. If Indiana's going to keep this game close, obviously Candace Dupree is going to have to play well. I think Achanwa is definitely not a go. She's definitely a fade. I think if you're going with Indiana, you got to think Miss Candace Dupree. And I'm going to go by game real quick just to tell you guys, all right? Seattle, Indiana, definitely the best play. Jewel Lloyd is definitely in play. If you want to play up, I personally, I think today the best plays is to be more backcourt loaded in this slate today. I really think there's a lot of value in the forwards and center spots. So I would not be at all opposed to anyone going with 3 or maybe 2 solid stud guards and then basically going and getting your value in the front court, which I think there's plenty of it here. In this particular state, there is today. Sue Bird is in play. If you're gauging anybody in Indiana, maybe Erica Wheeler, who's been playing the best out of all the girls there, and that's basically it. When you think of forwards, definitely Breanna Stewart in play. Best play, I think, in the front court today. I know they're coming from a back-to-back, but these guys have not played a back-to-back this year. They're young. Stewart is in great shape. They have played at least 5 or 6 different games during the course of the season where they had at least one day off, and they all came back and played well. This is a back-to-back. I don't see no problem with Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, and even Natasha Howard playing, maximum minutes, their normal average minutes. Natasha Howard definitely in play. If you want to pay down a little bit, I think she is excellent today in this matchup. She's very fast. She's very good athletically. She's not only that, she's a great defender. She's a shot blocker. She creates steals. She creates havoc. And I think that'll be a big havoc. I think that's where the advantage is at. Stewart and Howard being very athletic, and maybe Dupree being the more athletic out of her and Natalie Achanwa. So that's why I fade Achanwa. I think she's going to have a tough go here dealing with Stewart and Howard up front. Miss Clark is out, as far as I know of. It says here game time decision. So that definitely opens the doors for a little bit more time for both of these ladies, as well as the backcourt girls of Sue Bird and Jewel Lloyd. So think of it that way. But if you're looking for value in that position here, Langhorne is definitely in play, and as well as Courtney Paris, at least in my opinion. And then if you're thinking Indiana, low value on the bottom part, maybe a Stephanie Mavunga, especially if this game gets out of hand. She's going to get some time at 3,100. I think she's not bad. When we go to Las Vegas and Atlanta, I think the best play here is obviously McBride. Tiffany Hayes is fantastic as a ball player, but $100 more, I can get so much more upside. A girl that just is all-star. I mean, one of the top guards in the league. Not only that, she is one of the top players on the Vegas team. If McBride doesn't play well, this game is done. If Asia Wilson doesn't play well, the game is done for Vegas. These two girls are very, very important. Tiffany Hayes, you could play her, but I say definitely fade her. Go with and that's the problem. Tiffany Hayes is always going to be consistent. I mention that all the time here. 25 to 30, she's good for that. But 7,600 is a little pricey for her. I think McBride is pricey as well, but McBride definitely for $100 more is the best play. I do like KP. Like I said before, looking at the last 4 games and looking at the matchups, McBride and Plum are going to be really, really tough on Atlanta. And I think this is where they have the advantage as opposed to Vegas in the front court. I think the front court play is Atlanta is favored over Las Vegas there. But I think KP and K-Mac are going to do fine here. On the lower end of the spectrum here, as far as Young and Montgomery and Sykes, I'm not on any one of those. I'm not in favor of Montgomery trade. I really like Alex Bentley. She did have a great game against them the last time. She's starting to get more minutes now on the floor. So I think at 4,500 in this game, she's not bad. Other than that, you're good to go there. And then up here, again, I think Wilson is always in play. I just think this is a tough matchup for her today. Looking at the numbers again, I think she's going to probably have a little difficult time here today in getting 50 or 45 or 50. And for that price, you really wanted to get close to 40. And it's going to be tough. She may get there, and she can get there, but I think it's going to be a tougher matchup. I think you can definitely go somewhere else and get value. McCourtry's in play. Breland's in play. Elizabeth Williams is in play. I like McCourtry and Breland more so in this matchup today. And nobody down here, if you want to take a stab at Swords, you can. Remember, she's foul prone, and if she's going to get into fouls, she's definitely not going to help the team. I think there's a couple of nicer plays other than her today at that price, especially in this game coming up next. Minnesota, Chicago. Vandersloot and Quigley, hands down, they're in play. You know, if you wanted to stack these two girls, I think they're the best dual stack today. I think they're going to have monster games. I think they're in a perfect matchup. Minnesota, even though they've only been giving up 30 points per game to guards, the last time they gave up a lot of points to guards was when they played these two girls. So Vandersloot and Quigley should have a really nice time here today. And if they have a good game, chances are Chicago is going to have a shot to win this game. All right. Down here in the bottom end, I'm not too fond of it. You could take a look at Gabby Williams. Remember, she does play a little bit of 4 and 3. And they may want to go really athletic with Minnesota and really want to get a little more, as far as really trapping and all that. That may be a good spot for Miss Gabby Williams. We go to the forward spot. Fouls and Moore are definitely in play, but I'm not in favor of these two girls today. Maya Moore has been struggling big time with her shot. She's really been off, very inconsistent over the last 4 or 5 games. And Sylvia Fowles, everybody is just starting to really just double teaming her, trapping her. If they continue to have that kind of strategy on her and she is not able to get out of foul trouble or turn over the ball, then it's going to be a problem. It's going to be definitely a good recipe for disaster for Minnesota today, because I think Chicago is capable of doing that. And with that backcourt, and if they can get a nice game from either Cheyenne Parker or Stephanie Dolson, they're going to be quite all right. So I'm fading those girls today. They're definitely in play, but I think they're not the right way to go. They're going to be low owned. I think they're going to definitely be lower owned if anybody's thinking the way I'm thinking. Cheyenne Parker definitely in play, 6,000, a little hefty for the minutes she plays, but she's pretty much almost like 1 fantasy point per minute on average. If you look at her numbers, she's like basically almost there every single game. So she could be a possible nice play here today at 6,000. Dolson, you know her, she does the dirty work, Parker, and Dolson pretty much stays around the perimeter, doesn't really get too physical. She could take a couple of threes, so someone to consider here as well. I'm not in favor of her. I would probably pay $100 more and take a stab at Parker, but there comes the value right here. There is 4 girls here that I think 2 of them could be easily on anybody's line today. Fang Bentley, as well as Cecilia Zandelicini and Larkins, as well as even Coates here for Chicago, are all in play today as value plays on my list. I really think that these girls are your best options if you're looking for value in the front court spot. And I think Bentley is going to start when she gets a chance to play. She's probably going to play the most minutes, but Cecilia's more of a scorer. She's more, to me, more of a rebounder, defender, and Larkins is definitely a little bit of both because she's physical up front. She can get the rebound. So this is a pick-em here. It's very, very hard for me to decide. I'm leaning towards more Larkins as well because of a larger stature. She can rebound, and at the same time, she can score up close. So that makes her a little bit more dangerous. Cecilia is not much of a banger. She's more of a scorer. But when she's on the court, she does get 4, sometimes as much as 6 shots in a game. So I say either one of these threes, any one of these three, you're going to be good because they're all going to play. I just don't know whom is going to play the most minutes. And then Elena Coates over here, do not sleep on Miss Coates. She's been playing minutes and she's been productive. And at 3,400, hey, I have taken a fly on her in a couple of my little $1 and 25-cent lineups today. I definitely have quite a bit of Miss Coates. I think she's going to be definitely a very sneaky play here. She's like my sneaky value play here. All right, so don't fall asleep on Elena Coates, especially if this game stays close. She's already getting time just on fairly close games. And if the game gets out of hand, and let's say Minnesota is destroying Chicago or vice versa, I could see her playing some more minutes too. On the Washington Phoenix side, the guards here, Taurasi, man, she's been a mess right now. We all know she is capable of lighting it up any given day. But until she starts getting her head together like, Dallas with Liz Cambage and all, she's complaining about every foul. She's looking like she's upset. She's being too feisty, too aggressive as of late. If she can get herself to calm down, she'll be all right. I think this matchup here, I think Washington has an excellent shot. Phoenix has been playing really, really poorly. Washington has been definitely stepping it up, and they have the players necessary to get it done. In the backcourt of Christy Tolliver and getting some Natasha Cloud and some Ariel Atkins off the bench or playing the 3 spot is going to be really, really dangerous for Phoenix here. If I'm going to go with anybody here, definitely $100 cheaper. I am all over DeWanna Bonner. I think she is definitely a stud going into today. She had 2 wonderful games against Washington already. She's been red hot. She's the one who's been carrying the team other than Griner over the course of this period where they've been really slumping, and Diana Taurasi has been horrible. It's been DeWanna Bonner, and she's capable of doing it all, okay? Christy Tolliver in play. I think she's got a good shot today. I really like the lower end players here. Ariel Atkins definitely in play for me. I like Natasha Cloud here as well. And then for Phoenix, of course, Talbot and January have been playing more minutes, basically kind of balancing out the minutes, and they've both been pretty productive. So one of these 2 girls is not a bad play at 43 and 4,400, especially if Taurasi continues with her antics and gets herself in trouble. All right, so we'll see how that pans out, but those girls are in play. I'm not on anybody else here. If you want to choose if you got anybody you would consider, would probably be Curry. And then on the front court, Griner's in play. Deladonna's in play, of course. These girls are 2 studs. Tough to make a pick here. I mean, Griner is at home. You got to give her the benefit of the doubt. She has 50-point upside. So is Deladon. I am just always partial to Deladon, not only because she is just, to me, she's like a complete stud. She can do almost everything on the floor. But when we go down a little lower, you got Sanders, not a bad play. I really like Aerial Powers here. They're starting to get her more involved in the Washington rotation. So I definitely like her here over Little and Robinson. I think she has a shot to do some nice damage here. So Powers is definitely someone you should consider at 4,100. And then on the bottom end here, another sneaky play for me. I definitely like Miss Hawkins here at 3,300. In this matchup, with only got to worry about Bonner, who plays really the front court. Other than Griner, I think they have a good shot, especially if Sanders gets into her foul problems or anything like that. I see how Miss Hawkins could come in there, and she also is a fairly good field goal percentage shooter, and she's pretty good from 3 as well. All right, let me go to the questions. I wanted to give you every possible play. As far as I pretty much went through every one of the games. I told you who I think are the best possible plays. Obviously, it comes down to about 20, maybe even 18 girls, but we're going to see what we got here. Okay, let's see. What's the first question, Paul? All right, Stewart better bet than Griner. Yeah, I like Stewart. For Nick Francis, if you're still in the stream, I like definitely Stewart. I think she's a better play. Who would start for Brunson? Good question. I'm not sure. I would think it's Fag Bentley. Fag Bentley started the last 3 times she was out. Okay, Hulky, good for that. Yep, that's what I kind of remember myself. Larkins could get decent minutes. Yes, T-Dot, yes, I believe so. Larkins could get deep minutes. She's been in that position before, and she has come through. But they have options, you know. So if she gets into a little bit of problems, or she she tweaks an ankle or a knee, which she's been, you know, as of late, that's been happening to her too as well, then you can see Fag Bentley, or you can see the shooter in Zaldozini. She's a foul machine. Yeah. Yes, she is, Hulky. Is that all the questions all this time? So Fag Bentley, question for James Pro. Yeah, I like Fag Bentley. I think she has a shot. I think she's a, you know, like I said a few moments ago, those 3 girls that are gonna be getting time tonight for Rebecca Brunson, it's gonna be like a toss-up. It's really hard to determine who may get more time. I think Fag Bentley and Larkins are probably gonna get more than Zaldozini, if you ask me. I think they've gone that route before, and I remember vividly that Miss Larkins got the bulk of the minutes, and Fag Bentley played alongside her coming off the bench. So Fag Bentley will start. If she's doing well, she'll be there for quite a bit, and then you got to hope that she puts up some nice numbers real quick, and she's capable of doing that. All right, she's capable of doing that. And then I would say definitely Larkins over Zaldozini. I think those 2 girls are the best bet. Is that? Let me just check to see. Maybe you guys are asking me questions and it's on. No, that's pretty much it. I am very surprised. That's all you guys got for me as far as questions? All right. So that's pretty much where we at, guys. That's pretty much where we at. If nobody has any other questions, I'll wrap it up a few minutes earlier. It gives you guys time to make some changes. This is going to be an interesting slate, man. I look forward to seeing how Indiana comes out against Seattle, and, of course, how Atlanta and Las Vegas pan out. I think Atlanta will do fine at home. The Minnesota-Chicago game is definitely something that I want to definitely see. I kind of like Chicago. I've said it before. I kind of hope that eventually in time they'll get themselves a nice front court help there. But that back court is really, really nice. It's really a joy to see Chicago play back there, especially when they get out on the run between them 2 girls, Quigley and Vandersloot, and then you have Diamond DeShields also on the wing on those transitions. They look fantastic. Washington and Phoenix. I think Phoenix is going to have a hard go tonight with Washington. I think they have a lot of weapons, and Phoenix, especially right now with this drought, and especially Taurasi having her issues, I could see these guys losing here again tonight. You're wondering if Alicia Clark is starting? I have no idea. The last I heard, I think one of you guys reached out to me earlier and told me that she was out. I haven't heard anything. As you know, WNBA doesn't post up anything. It's either you hear it from something on Twitter or something like that. But Alicia Clark, for me, is, you know, I mean, if she is playing with a hamstring injury, even if she tweaked it, I would fade on her. You know, you got a couple of plays at 57. She's at 5,700. If you're looking for some plays in that area, around that 5K range, I would rather take a stab at a double A, Ariel Atkins, if you want to pay in that 5,600 range. If you want to replace Clark, I think Ariel Atkins is in a good spot with Phoenix, against Phoenix, excuse me. I know I got to touch up on a few lineups with my core. I did like about 8 lineups for that quarter entry. That one thing about Fanduel with WNBA, there's really not many contests at all. This has been really dreadful.